All right, guys. Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you guys are planning on watching this video. This is going to be a small little introduction to this week and just maybe an option, giving you guys some ideas how to plan out any questions you guys have and just kind of a check in. So, yeah, you guys feeling a little crabby having to stay in here during this quarantine? Well, I think we all are. Anyways, again, I'm going to go over some new information today, but I encourage you guys, in fact, definitely go over last week's information first. If you haven't already, do not skip last week because last week was a lot of good tutorials on how to start the program, the Gravit Designer, the Vector Art Designer program we've been using, the simple free one. So definitely get that out of the way with first, and then we can come back to this week. A couple things that before we get started that some people last week had a problem with. I think everybody kind of, not everybody, but a lot of people got through setting up um, a an image of a cartoon. Some look absolutely just like the picture. Some of you guys went on a tangent and did your own thing, and which is totally fine. We're using the skills and we're good. Uh, One of the challenges was, how do I turn this in? Well, first of all, any way possible to turn it in. Some people did screenshots, but I think the one of the ways that's pretty easy too is actually when you're working to go to File, then they'll go down to Export and export it as a JPEG, and then you could just upload it to Google Classroom. But for those of you taking screenshots and turning it in that way, that is completely fine too. So just wanted to get that out of the way with. So we're good. Um, Anyways, talk about a couple things that we're going to take care of this week. First of all, day one, maybe that's today, we are going to keep in our continuation of making cute animations, and we're going to create a crab. I posted a video of a crab that I did on day one, uh, kind of a cute little crab, cartoony. It makes for good practice for some of the bigger things that we're going to see later this week and next week. But yeah, so go ahead and make a crab, follow my tutorial. We'll show you some little techniques to make the crab claws. The pen tool is probably going to be the challenging part. But again, you want to double click to kind of end out where your pen is going. But pen is kind of crucial to learn. We didn't do much of that in Photoshop, uh, but yeah, Illustrator will show you how to, not Illustrator, but Gravit will show you how to kind of use it in the tutorials if you didn't do them last week. Anyways, after you guys put together that crab, um, you want to export it as a JPEG, and then you want to have a new file. And what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you create an animal of your own, maybe your favorite animal. So just a different animal, whatever that ends up being. So whether or not it's a goldfish, but just show me that you learned how to use some of those skills and post a second animal. All right. So day two has you, this is kind of scary. Day two has you create a self portrait. So using those same techniques, the shapes, the grouping, the arranging, make a self portrait. And in fact, if you don't feel comfortable making a self portrait, you could always make a portrait of me. There I am. So either one, choose it, put it together. Don't just make, like a circle oval. Kind of like maybe extract some areas um, for the face, and maybe putting in some little shadows on the edge if you want to get fancy with it. I saw some of you doing that last week. And worst case scenario, if you just are not comfortable with the shapes yet, go to YouTube, type in like Illustrator Simple Cartoon. Again, that's Illustrator Simple Cartoon. We take you to a link that people do these cartoons in Illustrator all the time. Difference is we're not using Illustrator, so some of the shapes and locations might be different, but a lot of it is kind of the same, and it will give you just a general idea. All right. After that, I linked a quiz to kind of finish up our whole shapes and cartoony segment of these assignments. And really, you just have to recreate the picture I put below in Google Classroom. It's easy. It shapes. My quizzes are always easy. Don't tell your other teachers that. All right. And then finally, day three. I wrote day 3 through 5 because it's a little bit of a larger assignment. I could probably bust it out in a day if I was you. Not a day, I'm sorry, less than an hour. So it's kind of like what we used to do in the classroom, size wise, but I'm giving you a couple days because, of our situation where we're currently dealing with. But I am going to just let you guys know that there is a video. It's a 16-minute long video. I attached it. It is a really good video. It's a guy named Aaron Draplin who does logos for a living. In fact, I'm sure you've seen some of his logos. You just didn't know it was him. But we're going to start migrating into the scenario of how do you get paid to use Illustrator. And all good graphic designers know Illustrator or vector art since we're not using Illustrator. So your first scenario is going to be Tommy's bikes. There are going to be two scenarios, Tommy's bikes, and I won't ruin the next one. But let's stick with Tommy's bikes. There's a couple things. I've posted it in Google Classroom, what Tommy wants. Tommy needs an updated logo. I posted his logo below. It's super 90s, old fashioned. He's looking for a new logo. So he does have some requirements, though. His logo needs to kind of have an outdoor theme or an outdoor feel. So maybe come up with some mountains. And you want to draw these out first. Give yourself a couple. All right, much better. Give yourself some inspiration by drawing out a couple things that remind you of outdoors, something simple. Notice logos are very simple. So keep it simple. I might do like 3 mountains with a little snow on top, snow caps, which are just kind of, triangles that would be white to match the background. Or you can take the part out of a bigger triangle. Other things he has colors he likes to use for his company. Those are yellow and blue. And then finally, the storefront sign should have his name or initials Tommy's Bikes TV on there. You choose whatever looks better. Again, keep it simple. Coming up with a logo for Tommy's Bikes. So I put a couple links there, hand sketch the logos first, and then use Gravit. One of those logos that you like, kind of develop in shapes and text, and then post it on Google Classroom. All right. So that is this week's assignments. Just 3 assignments there. But I do want to make one more recommendation here. This is for extra credit because it literally has nothing to do, or it doesn't have to have anything to do with graphic design. And so some extra credit while you guys are sitting around. Just learn a skill. Go to YouTube. Maybe look up some video on some things that you've always wanted to do, but never had the time to do it. Well, guess what? Some of you guys do have time. So maybe learn how to cook something if you like to cook. Learn a new song if you play guitar and you're not that good and you want to learn a new song. Go ahead and do that. You want to learn how to plant tomatoes to get the best tomatoes. You can do that, origami, etc. What I would want you to do if you do that and you want the extra credit, go ahead and just post a video of what you learned on Google Classroom. Some really easy extra credit there of things that I've been doing this week as I've been kind of quarantined up in the house. So if you have any questions this week, anything need clarification, some buttons don't work, don't get frustrated. Just go to the other assignment instead and let me know any questions you have through Google Classroom. Or I'm sorry, just email me through my email, dsbell@puhsd.us. And I'll get back to you that day. So no need to worry. Should be fairly easily. Next week, we'll notice that we had a 15-day trial, but next week we'll have some assignments too. If your trial runs out, feel free just to make a new email. I would doubt a lot of you guys only have one email anyways. Just throw in a new email, you get another 15 days. We're probably going to use it for a couple more days after next week too. So develop some more ideas. But yeah, no worries. If your trial runs out, just use a different email or make a new Google email. It's not very difficult, and sign yourself up for another trial. All right. Well, good luck. And again, email me if you have any problems, and I will talk to you soon.